Welcome everybody, this is Jean-Philippe Gaston again and the DR Delicacies Test Kitchen. And what we're doing every week is we're doing showcasing a little bit of product that you might not know, or that you might just not know how to do in different ways. So today we're going to focus on the fruit purees that we have. We have a whole bunch of every flavor you can think of. But I picked a pretty random one. I just did one so I can show you a few different ways of doing this stuff. We're going to have 4 or 5 dishes. And yeah, in this case we're going to use our blueberry puree. And we're going to use a few other ingredients as well. We're going to use some of our truffle honey. We're going to use some of the vanilla products that we have in-house, which we have so many different kinds. We have powder, we have extract, we have paste. We have whole beans, we have individual beans, we have all that good stuff. We use some of our in-house butter. And yeah, so let's get started. We're going to make a custard. So we're going to make a custard that can be either filling for like macaroons, or you can do little tarts. In this case, I'm going to make a pie. We got a pie shell. We're going to make it loose. Oh, it's going to turn into nice custardy, very thick. You're going to refrigerate it overnight, and we'll be able to cut it into like icebox pie, if you will. In this case, we're going to do a blueberry one. So, our ingredients: we need 200 grams of eggs. We have 140 grams of fruit puree. We have 180 grams of sugar, 20 grams of lemon juice. We have 5 grams of gelatin sheets. If you don't have gelatin sheets, 1 packet of powdered gelatin Knox is usually about 4 to 5 grams, so it's the equivalent of 4 to 5 sheets. And then we're going to do 300 grams of butter. In this case, I'm going to show you all 3 kinds of butter that we carry here. And these little guys are awesome. Yeah, all the way up to a ½ pound bar. So let's get started. So first, the cool bowl, you want to add your eggs and your sugar. You want 4 whole eggs, or whatever the amount, the grammage amount, the 200 grams is. And then it's going to seem like quite a bit of sugar, but it's not really, so just trying to fold that in. And we're going to whisk all that together until it's nice and pasty. So what this does is that we're going to cook in a double boiler in the steam. We're going to add the fruit puree into it and the lemon juice, and then we're going to cook in a double boiler over time until it turns into a custard, basically. So you don't want to overcook it. That's why we do a double boiler, because the steam is what's going to cook the egg instead of the pan, in which case it's just going to turn into a smooth paste instead of a scrambled egg. So once you get all the ingredients together, we'll go back to the thing, and then we'll start cooking. It's super easy to incorporate. These recipes take a little longer than usual, but it's because I wanted to show you a couple of the not just super fast things they can do with purees. In this case, we can do a pie, and then we'll do some drinks, and then we'll do some other easy stuff. As you can tell, it came in frozen, and how easy it broke it up, and it is all ready to cook. Alright, so it takes a few minutes, but as you can see, the steam's reacting already, so it's making it a little thick. As you can tell, you can see how nice and creamy it's getting, and then you have to move it out a little bit out of the heat, bring it back in. You gotta take care of it. You have to take your time. You don't want to scramble the eggs. You don't want to get it all nasty and quiche-y. You want it to be smooth. So as it gets thicker, you start seeing the creaminess of it and how nice it's gonna be. After that, we're gonna let it cool down for a little bit because we're gonna incorporate cold butter into it. You don't want that butter to break, and then you get all these granules and like really nasty texture in it. So you want to cool down to about 120 degrees. So let it sit on your counter for a few minutes, and then just add your cold butter to it. It'll melt smoothly into it and turn it into nice and creamy. And then we'll fold in the gelatin, and then it'll be just ready to set. And that's it. So the consistency you want is like this, like little ribbons, right? You don't want it too thick because then it'll turn into a quiche. But you want it nice and hot. So this is the consistency you kind of want. Now you add your cold butter again. You don't want it to be super hot because it'll break down and just kind of the fat and the oil will just kind of separate, and you don't want that. You want it to be nice and creamy. So you put your cold butter in and just stir it in and get it creamy. This might take a few minutes. There's quite a bit of butter, but once you do, you want to also get your gelatin ready. So what you're going to do is just going to dilute it a little bit so it's completely broken down, and then you add it to your mix so you have the nice gelatin texture to it. Once it gets cold and it sets, you'll have a nice, beautiful pie.